baseball card fever. I really got baseball card fever. It started with my very first pack.
Hey, what's up, card tubers? Diego here. Welcome to another video. So glad you can make it in. Today for the Sports Cards Detour, we're going to have some basically some cards from my POTTS collection, which is an acronym for put them off to the side. And those that you put off to the side are the ones that accrue into these larger collections that kind of look like a stack like that by the time you're done looking at some of the cards that you have for one player. And this one player that I have today is Nomar Garciaparra. Not exactly a super collector of them. It's just one of those players that I liked when I was younger. I didn't collect them, and I just kept on picking up his cards because a lot of his cards look really neat. And the first time that I remember seeing Nomar Garciaparra was back in his college days at Georgia Tech. We were watching some of the College World Series, the regionals and stuff like that, and Georgia Tech was playing. He stood out because of his last name, of course. It was such a long name, and then, of course, his first name was Nomar, so that we already know was Ramon backwards. So he sticks out, you know. His name makes him stand out a little bit more. And then you come to find out that he's this good baseball player who's made it to the major leagues. And later on, he'll be known for his toe tapping and glove adjustment during an at bat. And he was just a really fun player to watch, especially as I was growing up. Or not growing up, but going into my adolescence years and into my young adult years. Really appreciated what he did. He was a really like a top-notch player, batting 300 for most of it. Actually, for all his career, he averages a 300 average. But he's batted 372 back in 2001, I believe it was. He has a 30-game hitting streak as a rookie. He had the most home runs by a leadoff hitter that same rookie year that won him the Rookie of the Year award. So he started off hot out the gates, and he continued that for like the next 4 years as a Boston Red Sox. So every time you watched the Red Sox, you basically knew Nomar Garciaparra was going to be the star of the game somehow, some way. And that drew me to him, you know, as far as his baseball, the way he played and his little mannerisms, the toe taps and stuff like that, was really cool. And then you got to find out that he was on a path to be a surefire Hall of Famer. And of course that all changed with some injuries, some just bad timing with contracts and disputes and stuff like that, that led him to get to where he is today. So that's the kind of sucky part about the Nomar Garciaparra story, but I like to focus on just how good of a player he really was, with you know, his clutch hitting. He wasn't shabby in the postseason either. He did really well all the way around. Like I said, the one game, I would believe it was back in 1999. He went 3 for 4 and ended up getting 3 home runs that night, with two of them being grand slams for 10 RBIs in that night. That's a sign of just a great player. And man, Boston was lucked out with it. I'm gonna give me a second to push these back, and we'll keep on going. Like I was saying, during his career, Nomar showed such greatness. Even when he left the Red Sox, he had to leave the Red Sox and ended up going with the Chicago Cubs. He had little flashes in the pants of how good he was. Also, when he was with the Dodgers, he moved over to first base and still, you know, had his few games that were really good, but you could tell he was on a decline. Like, a lot of his numbers were not the same. So it kind of sucked, you know, that the things that whatever happened happened the way it did because or the way things happened to him the way they did, but you can still tell like what he could have been had everything just played out the right way. But he also helped, I think he helped these divisions, or sorry, not the divisions. He helped these teams like the Dodgers bring back some life to them. He also helped the Cubs bring back some life. Like, when you get Nomar Garciaparra on the Cubs squad, I can see like people getting excited about that. There was not much for the Cubs fans to really be, really excited about. And Nomar Garciaparra coming over there would have been really exciting, at least in my estimation. But I could be wrong, But there's some of his cards with the two other clubs, that he went to and helped out. And I just love the cards that he made during that time. So the wonder might be, well, why get so many? Why pick up Nomar Garciaparra? Well, you often see him. Unfortunately, you see him in dime boxes and quarter boxes, all these nice 1990 cards, 2000 cards that a lot of us weren't collecting at that time. And going back, you see just how nice these cards were. And it's just crazy to me that we had to, we were going on with our lives, getting married and having kids and stuff like that. But man, the cards that were made during that time, a lot of them were really nice. So you add that to having a player that is this good, you can't help but when you come back to the hobby to keep on picking up his cards and going back through his career and basically seeing on card the rise and the fall of Nomar Garciaparra. I hate saying that, but technically that's what it is. The rise and the fall of such a great player that could have been something like so grand at one time and just fell short just because of certain injuries and stuff like that. But you had a lot to enjoy about it within his career. If you're a Boston Red Sox fan, you have 4 great years of one of the best hitters in baseball, in my thought. I think he was probably the best shortstop out of those 3, Rodriguez, Jeter, and Nomar. I would have put my money on Nomar the whole time. Just so happens that the injury bug got to him. But let's say if it was all clean slate, no injuries, no nothing, I think Nomar could have been up there as a first ballot Hall of Famer himself. Probably would have had to get a better agent to help him out with some deals there, because he missed out on a lot of extending a lot of deals that could have made him richer. But hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles for some players. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this POTTS video. Players I put off to the side. This Nomar Garciaparra, basically highlight. One of the guys that I just keep on buying. Every time I see his card in a quarter box, dollar box, I'll pick it up because they're cool cards and he was a great player. So again, I hope you enjoyed the Sports Cards Detour. Until next time.
Well, thanks a lot for looking and listening, folks. I enjoyed being with you. So long, everybody.